Hello everyone, this is Ms. Stephens and this is the Big 6 Lesson introduction video. So hello, I'm your librarian, Ms. Stephens. The purpose of this lesson is to introduce the concept of the Big 6 process, and our objective for today is that students will be able to identify and explain the concept, purpose, and steps of the Big 6 process. So for this introduction, we are going to focus on the concept and purpose of the process, which is why those are highlighted. And then later on in the conclusion, we will focus on the steps of the process. So our standards for today, let's start with the TEKS. So our TEKS come from the English 1 standards, and that is standard 11. And we're going to be focusing on 11A, E, F, and I. So that is that the student takes part in the inquiry or questioning for information process, and the student is expected to create questions for information, locate sources that are relevant or useful to the task, synthesize or combine information from multiple sources, and present the results. For the Common Core standards, we're going to be focusing on the ELA literacy standards, the writing standards specifically for grades 9 and 10, and standard 7. And so that's that students will conduct research projects to answer questions or solve a problem, synthesize or combine multiple sources, and understand the topic that they research. For ISTE standards, we're going to be focusing on standard 3D, which is one of the knowledge constructor standards. So students will explore real-world issues and problems to develop ideas and seek answers and solutions. And then finally, for our AASL standards, we're going to be focusing on 1D2. So 1 for inquiry and then D for grow. And the second standard of that is that learners will participate in the inquiry or questioning for information process by taking part in continuous investigation. And so that would be part of the research process. So what is the Big 6? The Big 6 is a model or process that helps students solve problems and make decisions by seeking and applying information. So you use the Big 6 every day when you solve problems, make decisions, and complete tasks at school, in your personal life, or at work. So the Big 6 can be used for research projects, but it also is used anytime that you are trying to solve problems or make decisions by finding and applying the information that you need. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the pre-assessment. So if you will please go to blendspace.com to access the pre-assessment, which is a Google Forms quiz. And this quiz is not a grade, but it is to see what you already know about the Big 6 research process. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get to that. So if you go to the Big 6 lesson, you'll find it here on Blendspace. And then if you click on this pre-assessment, you'll see our assessment. So your first question is, what is the Big 6? And then in your own words, explain the purpose of the Big 6. And then you can use the following sentence frame to help you explain that purpose. And then for question 3, you're going to go ahead and check mark all the stages of the Big 6. So there are 7 boxes there, and hopefully by the name Big 6, you were able to determine that there's only 6 stages or steps of this process. So you're only going to click 6. And then question 4, at what stage do you identify the information problem and the information that you need? Okay, for number 5, you're going to go ahead and explain what a student would do at the synthesis stage, and you can use the following sentence frame for that. Then in 6, I gave you a little scenario about what a student was doing in the library as part of this process. And so I want you to tell me which 2 Big 6 stages did the student use. And then for the final one, you can go ahead and complete that fill in the blank. What is the final step of the Big 6 process? Okay, so after we are finished with our pre-assessment, let's go ahead and conclude our lesson. So the Big 6 is a process of 6 steps or stages that will help you conduct research through information problem solving. And the Big 6 will help you with the research across all of your courses, as well as when solving problems, making decisions, and completing tasks in other areas of your life. And so we're going to go ahead and go through the blend space lesson, which will mean that you are going to watch a video about the Big 6, and then we will go over the steps.